Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Paul Lopez. The 1983 US Festival inspired me to play music. I seen heavy metal, really seen heavy metal for the first time. Um, you know, you see hard rock, but to see music played in a different way than what you hear on the radio all the time was great. I started playing music in 1983, right after the US Festival. I actually picked up a guitar. I think it might have been 1980, yeah, 82 maybe, 83. But when I started playing music, I take that back. 1981, I started playing saxophone once I got into junior high.
Music?
As far as playing music, not really, but luckily enough, when I started playing music and getting in a band, I started my first band in 1984, the end of 83 actually. 83, we played a party in November, December. But when I came up, there were multiple heavy metal bands in Wilmington, and we all used to play at the Waters Club in San Pedro. Black Flag used to rehearse in Wilmington back in the day. So it was, as you always hear, was a hotbed of metal in the early and mid '80s in Wilmington.
Music?
None at all. When you have dedication and nothing but time on your hands, especially when you're a teenager, if you want something bad enough, you're going to spend all the time in the world trying to get good. And that's what I did. I locked myself in the room, wasn't worried about chicks. At that time in 83, I wanted to become a guitar player, and I'd practice 6-7 hours a day learning how to play Black Sabbath and Ozzy and Metallica, and it paid off. You figure that was 83, we're in 2016, 33 years. Yeah, 33 years of playing. So, not really. Everybody has their heroes. I had people in my family that played music, and it was fun to see family members play guitar and being exposed to it. My uncle wasn't good, but he played. I had a lot of family members that had guitars, and it was something I wanted to try. And luckily, when I showed the interest, my dad seen it, and we went to JCPenney's, bought my first guitar, my first amp, and haven't stopped since then because it kept me out of trouble. I started playing in '83, right at the end of junior high, going into high school. And maybe 3 years after I started playing, I seen a bunch of friends that I grew up with, knowing from elementary school, with teardrops, tattoos on their eyes, and these guys would come up to me and give me handshakes and hugs, because music kept me off the streets and kept me out of trouble while these guys were in and out of jail. And for anybody out there, like I said, you dedicate yourself to an instrument or to anything, whether it be a sport or music, keep your mind on it and don't ever let it go, because good things come out of it. I was playing in a band called Silent Scream in the early 90s, and we just got done playing a gig in Riverside, I think. And got off stage and packed my stuff up and walked through the crowd because I had to use the restroom. So I'm standing at the urinal, and there's like a 15-year-old kid looking at me. I must have been about 22, 23 at the time, maybe 24. And the kid's just like staring at me, and he looks at me and asks me, "Hey, weren't you just on stage?" And I looked at him and smiled and said, "Yeah." And it's always great because when you're good at something, it's nice to have the acknowledgement of people that enjoy it. That's why I still play music today. I started playing when I was 14. I'm 46 now, and it still feels the same to have people come up to you, shake your hand, tell you you're great, the music sounds good. That's what it's all about.
What is music to you?
Music is life to me. Luckily enough, I'm married, been married now for quite a few years. Marissa's my daughter. I got another young daughter. I love my family, but my guitars have a place here at my house. My guitars always have a place with me. They're not going to be more important than my daughters or my wife, but you know what? It's something I have. It's mine. There's guitars I have that are older than my marriage or my kids. Like I said, music kept me off the street. It kept me out of jail. It kept me having fun. I met a lot of people. Don't quit. You always hear people talk about dreams, whether your dream is to make it or your dream is just to play, play in front of people. I've been lucky enough in my lifetime to do a lot of things that people might never ever get the chance to. I played the Troubadour, I played the Whiskey, I played the Roxy, I played the Country Club. I played all up and down the Sunset Strip. You know, our local hangout here back in the day, you know, the Waters Club, clubs throughout San Pedro, clubs through in Long Beach. It's great, you know, and if you enjoy it, music is something you don't do to get rich and famous, not really something you do to make a lot of money. When you start writing your own songs like I do, you write it because you like it, and the payoff is when people hear your music and like it just as much as you do. You know, it makes you feel good. That's why I still do it. First road gig, July 5th, 1985 at the Waters Club. But we played a backyard party right before Christmas, 1983, over by Will Hall Park in Wilmington.
Thank you for doing this interview. Are you going to sign off?